Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I love talking about Descendants of Zombies so much. I love breaking down the franchises. I love analyzing them for what they're worth. I love giving you my predictions and my thoughts and my theories on where I think Descendants of Zombies is headed. Because I believe in the future of Descendants of Zombies. And that's more than you're going to hear from any other YouTube creator who uploads these videos to YouTube every single night. Because the majority of the videos that you're watching, unfortunately for you, are AI videos. They aren't really hosted by anybody because nobody knows how to provide you with commentaries and breakdowns and analogies on Descendants of Zombies. But from out of nowhere, you guys gave me a second chance to be heard in an era where I never thought I would be taken seriously ever again. Because I was uploading videos about video game reviews, TV shows, and movies that I may have been a fan of that weren't really making a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people until I discovered the power and the heart and the dedication that came with being a Descendants of Zombies fan. Ever since 2015, I remember watching the powerful performances of Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, feeling ever so captivated about the performances and how they could sing all these songs like Rotten to the Core and Shown Like a Villain. And then happened The Rise of Red, a very different take on a franchise introducing Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella characters that were inspired by the classic fairy tales for the first time ever. And we embarked on a whole new journey with new characters and a new storyline, which I was really excited about. I took myself on the opportunity to upload a lot of videos about Descendants of Zombies, never knowing what kind of response I was going to receive, because that's one of the constant challenges of being a YouTube creator, is you never know how many people are going to watch your video, click on your thumbnail, and there's a lot of work and dedication that goes into uploading videos to a certain niche that people love to watch videos because of, and I love it so much because of the response that I've received. If there was one rewarding feeling that I get from a video, it's when somebody hits my subscribe button because they too are a fan of Kylie Control. They too love the Descendants franchise. And I've just never wanted to go away. I've just always wanted to be a part of this forever and always because I get to share my stories and my thoughts on the franchises that you guys grew up with, because I know what it's like to grow up being a fan of Disney. Now, unfortunately for me, I didn't have Disney Channel until 2015. We had a sister channel here in Canada. It was called Family Channel that aired Disney programs like Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Phineas and Ferb. I used to love watching Phineas and Ferb, so I get the Phineas and Ferb fans and how crazy they are about Phineas and Ferb and this new reboot with Ashley Tisdale and the original cast coming back to do the voices of the characters. It's kind of really cool. But my childhood pretty much consisted of me annoying my parents to get Disney Channel. It was always, can we get Disney Channel? Can we get Disney Channel? Can we get Disney Channel? And then finally they said, all right, we'll get Disney Channel. And I was so excited to watch Disney Channel for the first time ever and watch all my favorite shows inspired by my favorite characters. I was a huge fan of Nickelodeon growing up too, but I always chose Disney over Nickelodeon because of their positive messages, their colorful characters, their unique franchises, and their, retrospective on life they offered us. Because no matter how many times you felt left down or discouraged, you could always count on Disney to, lift your spirits and make you smile and laugh, because over the years we've shared in so many unforgettable moments, from Frozen to Beauty and the Beast to Tangled. We've been a fan of Disney for whatever reason. We were a fan of Disney, and I think Descendants and Zombies brought us that much closer together. And that's what's so amazing about these franchises, that we've never quit on the characters we've loved. We've never forgotten the moments that made us fans of Descendants of Zombies. And honestly, guys, if I could choose to fall in love with the franchise all over again, it wouldn't be High School Musical. It would never be Hannah Montana. It would forever and always be Descendants of Zombies, because no matter where I go or what becomes of me from here on out, I will never forget any of you, and I will never forget the profound impact that Descendants of Zombies has forever and always had on my heart. Because people will choose to criticize Descendants of Zombies for forever. But it's because of the fans of Descendants of Zombies that we were able to outshine any amount of criticism that we may have encountered or watched on YouTube because of how people may have felt about Descendants of Zombies. Because you guys are some of the most incredibly supportive fans in the world, and that was proven more apparent to me than ever before with my most recent Freya Sky video that was first uploaded to this YouTube channel over a day ago, with over 2,500 views on just one video. That was amazing, and that just showed how much you loved Freya Sky. So because you love Freya Sky so much, I give you my word that I will continue to upload more Freya Sky videos in the future. So keep watching for those to drop on this YouTube channel. If you haven't already figured this out, this is the unofficial Descendants of Zombies podcast on YouTube, and I have never felt more honored to be in your presence every single time I have the chance to record a video about Descendants of Zombies. That would include me putting my life in jeopardy. I could be up on my roof, putting shingles on my roof. I could be out doing something, fearing for my life. But I'll always put that aside and talk about Descendants of Zombies before I ever put my life in jeopardy, because I think Descendants of Zombies is important to somebody who is a fan of Descendants of Zombies, who deserves to see and watch the best videos that they can watch on YouTube, which they can't get from every other YouTube creator, because the majority of the videos that you're watching are AI, and they really have never made any sense to me. It's pretty much just a bunch of mermaid footage thrown in to make a zombies trailer, or a bunch of crazy footage thrown together to make a Wonderland trailer to kind of make sense of the franchise and what kind of direction it's heading in. But it's just a bunch of predictions and theories that really have never made any sense. I don't think we have to watch trailers about Descendants of Zombies to make sense of the franchise, because I think we already know what is going to become of these franchises. They have already gone down in history for being some of the most revered and greatest of all time, and I think what matters most are the predictions from the fans, because the fans are what helps make the Descendants of Zombies franchises make a whole lot of sense, especially to the newer fans of Descendants of Zombies who are being introduced to these franchises for the first time ever, which is so cool, because you not only are being introduced to the franchise for the first time ever, you have the chance of going back in time and rewatching the original Descendants franchise and what it meant to a generation of old. So it's kind of really cool that you have, history to look back at from Descendants, and you're not just looking at this one take on a franchise probably 25 years after having been remade. Because so many successful franchises over the years have either been rebooted or they've been remade. Like Wizards of Waverly Place recently, with how much success it received years ago from years past, and now we've got Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, which Descendants of Zombie stars attended, and I had never felt more honored to cover that, because I saw the passion from Clarke and having been a fan of Wizards of Waverly Place and Freya Sky being a fan of that show growing up. I think no matter who we are a fan of Disney, and we have our reasons for being a fan of Disney or Nickelodeon. And as I just said, I chose Disney over Nickelodeon so many times because of the colorful characters and just the message and the vibe I got from the shows. Because Disney always encouraged us to never give up on our dreams, and Descendants of Zombies became the most recent franchise to encourage this more than ever before. Also, that one could find true love, even if it was with a zombie. I really appreciated the zombie storyline and how far they went with it, because this was the first franchise in Disney's history where the words "I love you" found its way into a script. And you know something? I watched Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires to hear those three words said by Zed and Addison, and how much the relationship came full circle and how much it meant to them. If there was ever a moment to be a part of that we had waited on for the Zombies franchise, it was when Zed and Addison told each other they loved each other, because I think we saw ourselves in that moment. We all wish that we could find one person that we could see ourselves spending the rest of our lives with, that we would make any sacrifices, regardless of what those sacrifices were, to protect and keep for forever. Our friends, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, whoever we are, we dream of meeting that one special person that we could spend the rest of our lives with and never give up on, that would never quit on us in return. Because if that person always calls you back and is always there with love and support for you, then they are Mr. Right, or they are the right person for you. And I don't think you should ever sell yourself second best. You should always go for the best and shoot for the stars. And I think that's what Descendants of Zombies encourages more than ever before. I saw myself through those characters' eyes more than I probably ever admitted, because, to be honest with you guys, that was a beautiful story. And if there was one thing I will never forget this past summer because of, it will be the premiere of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. It felt like forever since Zombies 3 had happened. And by the time Zombies 3 dropped and we saw the aliens find their way into Seabrook and the storyline, we thought the story was over. We thought the story had been told and completed. But those die-hard fans of the Zombies franchise held on to the belief that there would be a new Zombies movie, there would be a new chapter written into the franchise. And it took a considerable amount of time, but with time being allowed and elapsing through the hourglass, the story got better, it became more powerful, and we saw the introduction of new characters who will carry on the franchise and ensure its legacy as one of the greatest of all time. Now, while Zombies trails behind by 0.2 of a percentage in ratings and reviews behind Descendants, placing a close second, the thing is, Zombies achieved so much rarity. No matter if you're a fan of it because of the music, its story, collecting the merch, and the dolls, which are incredibly beautiful. I just got to look at the Zombies dolls the other day, the new ones, and they were absolutely incredible. And I think one of the things that I remembered from the unveiling of the dolls and the new Zombies merchandise, from the t-shirts, the sweaters, and the hoodies, from the Worlds Collide tour, and of course the new dolls, of course, the Nova doll and the Victor doll, it's really cool. I think that everybody has a reason for being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And whatever your reason is, or your passion is for being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, I think you should continue to follow it. I will forever encourage you to follow it because I was always a fan of everything. And I just said here earlier how I always believed that superheroes were real. And knowing that tonight, 7 years ago, we lost a superhero in Stan Lee, with how innovative his mind was and how creative he was, he will forever and always be missed. Because if there was one guy in this world who always forever believed that superheroes were real and could save the day, believing Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, and Captain America and Deadpool were real, it was this guy. That's why I share in the same passions that Meg Donnelly had for wanting to be in these superhero remakes like Supergirl in 2026. Unfortunately, the door was shut on her for being the live-action Supergirl, and that was taken from her by Millie Alcott. I really do believe that Meg Donnelly would have brought so much life and so much creative energy to this character, but she shouldn't be feeling downhearted about it because I really do believe there are going to be more opportunities for her that are pretty much written in stone because of how much she meant to the Zombies franchise and how much it meant to her. You see, in order to bring a franchise to life, you really got to have it mean so much to you, and just as much, if not more, than it means to fans. And that's what I get from the interviews that Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly drop all the time, is how appreciative they are of every single moment. Kind of like the Freya Sky interviews when she was a part of the Zombies franchise for the first time ever. After becoming a part of the Zombies franchise, she immediately credited Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, especially Meg Donnelly, for everything they offered and brought to this franchise because they wanted to make it something special for everybody. And they had a lot of, interesting shoes to fill. They had Vanessa Hudgens, Zac Efron, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Bridget Mendler. I can't forget to mention Bridget Mendler because she was a beautiful, beautiful girl who was so full of potential and so much talent by 2011. I think that so many Disney stars left the responsibility to people like Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky, interesting shoes to fill. And I think a lot of people were wondering if they were going to be able to do it. But as far as I'm concerned, they went on to become some of the greatest Disney stars of all time. Because while people like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson have forever closed the door on them reprising the roles for the Descendants franchise, Kylie Cantrell, Freya Sky never gave up on us. And they always gave us hope. And they always encouraged us to follow our passions and our dreams, no matter what our dreams are. While that may seem like a cliche saying for everybody to use on YouTube videos, the thing is, if you have a dream and you're passionate enough about it, you've just got to follow it. If you believe in superheroes enough to believe that they are real, then so be it. If you believe you're the next artist for Disney, then so be it. Because I think that at one point or another in Freya Sky and Kylie Cantrell's life, they dreamed of being a superstar. They dreamed of being a pop star. And I think that because of the encouragement they received not only from Disney, but from their never-ending love and support from their fans, that's why they got to the point that they're at. That's why they're talked about so much, and that's why they're some of the most popular Disney stars and some of the greatest of all time. I would love to induct them on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, giving them their own stars. Because I think if there ever were Disney stars that should be in this conversation to have their own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it should be Kylie Cantrell. It could be Freya Sky. They could be sharing a star with Kermit the Frog. Because if Kermit the Frog can have his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so too can Kylie Cantrell. And it has everything to do with Kylie Cantrell's passion for life and her desire to want to keep on entertaining us. Because she's always finding new, innovative ways to continuously entertain us. And that's what I find so admirable about Kylie Cantrell, because a lot of stars were appreciative of the moments early on in their career, but as time went on and they learned more, and they knew how much popularity they had garnered from characters like Hannah Montana and Alex Russo and Sonny from Sonny with a Chance, which was a show that ended long before its time because Demi Lovato chose other career paths and avenues to take. The thing is, there's so much unbelievable moments that were created by people like Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky, and they have held on to those because the thing is, Your love and support has what's meant so much to them, and they've never ever forgot it. So while people like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson have closed the door on the member returning for Descendants of Zombies, Clarke and and Freya Sky have left it ever more so widely open. And that's because of the love and support that you guys have shown them. Because you're the reason why Descendants of Zombies has happened. And that's something I've never ever wanted you to forget. That's what I've ever and always wanted to put across on every video that I've ever uploaded on this YouTube channel is the fact that you guys are why Descendants of Zombies happened. This didn't happen because 500 people sat down in a board meeting one day and said, let's create a concept, call it Descendants of Zombies, put it in front of people and see what they think. And we took this concept and we blew it up. It had everything to do with our response that we gave to the story, the music. It was really an incredible experience to be a part of, and one that I will never, ever forget. Do I think that Freya Sky and Malachi Burton's stars are shining brighter than any star on Disney Channel or Disney Plus right now? Sure I do. Do I think that we should be offering them as much encouragement as possible? Sure I do. And that's why I will continue to upload videos about Freya Sky and Kylie Control, because I really do believe that there's a passion and a pride that goes with talking about Descendants of Zombies. If you're passionate about collecting Descendants merchandise like the dolls and the hoodies and the sweaters and the t-shirts, then I encourage that. And I look forward to that in the foreseeable future, because you guys went to the Worlds Collide Tour and you were very passionate about your favorite stars. You came out of love and support for your favorite stars. And because they realized they were a part of a moment and they were going to be a part of history with each and every one of you, they made a moment that you will never ever forget. And that's what was so special about the Worlds Collide Tour and having the chance to review it, was because of the energy in every venue. Because of the energy in every venue, you guys brought it to life. And it didn't have anything to do, it overshadowed what the critics thought about the Worlds Collide Tour, or had nothing to do with the critics, because they have the sole purpose of showing up at the Worlds Collide Tour to review it for a website or a YouTube channel, a big-time YouTube creator. But you guys brought so much life and so much energy to the room, and you were so excited to be a part of it, that it made me wish to want to be in the same room with each and every one of you to experience the Worlds Collide Tour and to have had the chance to have met each and every one of you for your passion for Descendants of Zombies. You took a guy who pretty much was the loser on YouTube and you made him into a superstar overnight because of his thoughts on Dove Cameron and Kylie Control having been heard by thousands and watched by thousands of people. Did I ever think this YouTube channel was going to explode in popularity? I most certainly never thought this YouTube channel would be at the position it's at right now to be the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world, or at least in consideration to be the top Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world. But I have each and every one of you to thank because of that. Because you guys made this YouTube channel happen. You're the reason why Jonathan Clarke on YouTube pretty much exists. And for that I have each and every one of you to thank. No matter how many times I try, I can never seem to put into words how appreciative I am of the moments that we share together. I just spoke about passion and the passing of Stan Lee. And I used to collect Marvel video games, and I really have every Marvel video game that there is to actually purchase, from the Iron Man VR video game to the original Spider-Man video games. But this is the original Marvel Spider-Man video game on PlayStation 4 that Stan Lee made his final appearance in. And then you have the sequel to that one, of course, Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is one of my favorite video games of all time. And in between those releases, you had Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I actually have a copy of too, but I lent it to my friend from New York, and he's playing it right now, and he loves it. The point I'm trying to make is, if you're passionate about collecting these Descendants dolls or learning how to draw your favorite Descendants characters, which I've noticed are some of the top trends on YouTube, then go for it. I personally love people who can draw. I love seeing your talents put on display. I love how you guys upload your videos about how you feel very passionate about Descendants of Zombies and showcasing your talents. Because that's what life is about, is letting people know what you have a passion because of. So if you're passionate about Descendants of Zombies, forever and always believe in that passion and hold on to it for just a little while longer, because you never know where your passions can lead you. I've been reading a lot of interesting stories about how Sabrina Carpenter is going to star in a live-action remake of Alice in Wonderland, the first in years. I don't really know how I feel about that, because I think Descendants of Zombies are doing a fabulous job doing a live-action adaptation of characters represented by Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella. And I'll have more to say that on upcoming video blogs on this YouTube channel, because I think this conversation never has to be over. This story is far from over, and because it has everything to do with how much we believe in these two franchises, I love talking about them so much. And I love having the honor bestowed upon me to have been your voice of Descendants of Zombies, which I can never seem to thank you guys enough for having made me, because you guys could have made anybody on YouTube your voice of Descendants of Zombies, but for some reason, you guys forever and always have chosen this YouTube channel. I guess because this YouTube channel makes sense to everybody who's a fan of Descendants of Zombies, and because nobody ever provides you with commentaries or breakdowns on what Descendants of Zombies is truly meant to them. Because in order to upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, the secret has forever and always been you have to understand your audience and you have to give your audience what they want. So be it that it's Descendants of Zombies videos, you too have to understand where Descendants of Zombies is coming from and how it's always and forever been about acceptance, about how one can find true love and happily ever after even has the slightest chance of existing. The one thing that I notice about all the reviews that are being uploaded about Descendants of Zombies, reaction videos, reviews, what have you, is that they never encourage you that dreams can become a reality for you or that happily ever after exists, which is the ultimate message of Descendants of Zombies. It's a reoccurring theme, seemingly, for Descendants of Zombies. And as each chapter is revealed for Descendants of Zombies, the story just gets better and better from here on out. And that's why I'm so excited to be a part of it. That's why I've never felt more honored to be in your guys' presence to discuss all things Descendants of Zombies. Seriously, guys, from my heart to yours, thank you so much for having allowed me to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies and give me a reason to blast Descendants of Zombies music on my Bluetooth speaker, which I'm really surprised I haven't got a noise complaint from my neighbor just yet. But I love talking about these franchises, and that's why on this YouTube channel you will find over 600 videos having been uploaded about Descendants of Zombies and me having no regrets, because I know how much these franchises mean to somebody who's a fan of whoever they're a fan of or whatever reason they have for being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. Keep on believing in your dreams and following your passion, guys, because that's what matters the most in this lifetime. Why? Because you only have one life to live. And it's all about how precious time is, because we never know how much time we have, and it's all about how much time we have and how we spend that time surrounding ourselves with the people and the moments that matter and that mean so much to our hearts. Guys, thank you so much for all the love and support that you've shown this YouTube channel. I can never seem to put into words how appreciative I am of you guys. If you are somebody who has not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to go ahead and get that out of the way right now, because I would love to have you here as a part of this YouTube channel, because I love meeting so many wonderful people who feel very passionate about Descendants of Zombies, and that's why it's such a huge honor for me to have created so many wonderful videos about Descendants of Zombies, which I look forward to doing for the foreseeable future as I continue to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies and show the respect and the dignity to Descendants of Zombies that it's forever and always deserved. Don't forget to hit my like, subscribe button, and to ring my bell to stay up to date with notification to everything happening on this YouTube channel. You're probably going to want to do that if you are a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because it seems to me like the die-hard fans of Descendants of Zombies, some of the very first subscribers I first had on this YouTube channel, have never left me, and I can never seem to thank you guys enough for all the love and support that you've shown this YouTube channel. Guys, seriously, I love you guys so much, man. I will have more to say about Descendants of Zombies in the forthcoming videos that will be uploaded on this YouTube channel, which you guys can watch in my archives. You can also browse through these videos and go back and watch any videos that have been previously archived. Guys, show your love and support for this YouTube channel, because it goes a long way. Stay calm and zombie on into the foreseeable future, because that's the only way to be in this lifetime, because life is that much sweeter when all of us are. Thank you guys so very much for watching this video.